Okay, so I'm gonna show you how to make something like this. Okay, yeah, real easy. I don't know why I'm not enthusiastic. I am really enthusiastic about this. Okay, anyways, so for starters, you're gonna get Pngtube remix. You can look it up on Google, something. I already have this, so I'm just gonna click new. I already saved it. Okay, so you start off with an empty screen, okay? It's literally just this. Okay, there's nothing here yet. So you go click new, and then, sorry, I might click files, and then click add images, okay? Maybe I should just explain one by one. So new is basically just to make a new canvas, new Pngtuber. Open is to open pre-existing Pngtuber that you already have. Save as, you already know. Add images is what we need. So you're gonna click add images, and you're gonna go to your, folders. I saved mine over here in Pngtube remix, and then Nepeta PNGTuber. So there's like a fuckload of images here. You're gonna want to separate them into individual parts depending on your needs. Sometimes if you want them to move like individually on their own, then you're gonna separate them into a whole bunch of parts like this. See, like back hair, blink, bow, eyeball, hair, head, headband, and all that. But we're going for something simple, so it's just her hand. Normal, as in when she's not talking. Normal blink when she's blinking, but she's not talking. And like stuff. Here's her tablet, and then her blinking when she's talking, her talking sprite, and her tail. Okay, so you're just want to select all of this, and just click open. And okay, so something I realized I forgot to do is I forgot to go to mode, and see, I was on Pngtube mode. You're gonna click editor, and that's where all the funky part is at. Okay, so it's like extremely zoomed in right now, so you're just gonna zoom out with your mouse, and boom. Okay, so it's really cluttered, as you can see, so what we're gonna do is we're just gonna divide them into folders, one by one. I'll pause the video and then I'll get back to you when I'm done sorting them into folders. Okay, so we've separated them into individual folders. If you don't know how to separate them into folders, this button over here is to add a folder. Now, how it works in Pngtube Remix is essentially the lower it is, the higher the positioning is, folder-wise. I mean, layer-wise. So, Nep tablet is all the way at the very top. If I moved it all the way over here, then it would be underneath Neptail, and then a normal sprite, talking sprite, and her hand. You just move it back and forth. If you want to group them, you can just like drag this, hold it, and then drag it directly into this layer. And if you want to undo it, good luck, because there's no undo button, I'm pretty sure. Don't worry, you can just like move it underneath to this folder again, and boom, back to normal. Okay, so what next? Well, we can start assigning properties to some of these layers or folders. Okay, so you know what we want. We want, so the normal sprite, you can only see it when we're not talking, and talking sprite when we're talking. Okay, easy. And Pngtube Remix, you go to the properties thing over here, and you'll see that there's should blink and should talk. So what you want to do is for the normal sprite, aka the one where she's not talking, you want to go to should talk, and then click this over here, and you want to switch it to mouth closed. Okay, so now when we're not talking, this what pops up. Obviously it hasn't changed yet because we're still in editor mode. But you kind of see it later, what it looks like when we go here to talking. Now, you want to do the same thing, but instead of mouth closed, it's mouth open. Now, there's like slightly translucent, right? If we go to Pngtube, you see it changes. Yeah, okay, so we did it. Great job, guys. Now, how about the blink? So this is pretty easy. So, same thing. You probably notice over here that it says should blink. you're gonna want to do the same thing with the eyes, but instead, it'll be eye open and eye closed. So blink over here, so it's eye closed, and then over here it's eye open. Do the same thing with the talking sprite. Over here, blink, eye closed, and then Nepeta open, eye open. Okay, got it. So here's what it looks like. Yeah, so she blinks periodically, both when we're talking and when we're not talking. If she can just, yep, okay, there you go, she could. So, we got that done. What next? Right, the hand. So, here's how the hand works. We're gonna want to move the hand a bit lower since I purposefully made it so you may have noticed right now that unlike the other layers, the hand is actually like a fully complete piece. It's not like partially cut like the others. This is because I want it so like we can like lift the hand up a bit even when like follows a cursor. So if I move my cursor up over here, then the hand will follow too, and you won't see an odd cut if by chance it manages to like go a bit over here, like away from the tablet. So, but you don't have to do it if you want, but I suggest that you do it like this for stuff that like moves around a lot. So, how you want to like, me personally, I'm just gonna like move the thing over here, move the hand over here, because I don't really want it to stick out that much. Why is my mic not working? Hello? I'll be back, hold up. Okay, my microphone works again. I don't know what happened just now. Anyways, so you want to go to movement over here, scroll down a bit, and you'll see follow mouse. Yeah, real handy. Pngtube makes this really easy to use. So range X is how far it'll follow your cursor on the x-axis. Same applies on the for range Y, and squish X, squish Y is basically how much you'll squish to follow your cursor. So the higher it is, the positive value at least, the more it'll follow your cursor. If you put it on a negative value, it'll basically avoid your cursor like the plague. Now we don't want that, so we're just gonna set it to positive value since we want it to follow our cursor as if she's drawing. Okay. We can set it as high as we want. It's really up to your preferences. Same thing with the Y. Me personally, I don't like setting it a bit too high as the range of X because I don't really see why, but you can do it if you want. You know, it's your choice. This is just like a tutorial after all. You don't have to like follow me 101. Anyways, there's if you're curious what squish X looks like, see it essentially like over here at the center, it doesn't squish. When I go all the way over here to the right side, it squishes a lot. No, we don't really need to do that, so I'm just gonna leave that 0. Right. Now you're thinking, where's the tail? Okay, so tail's over here. Tail's a bit tricky. Well, not tricky, more so I honestly don't really remember how I did it. We're gonna move the tail a bit, cause oh yeah. Okay, so this is important. For the tail, you're gonna want to make sure that if you want it to like curve a bit, like what I did with my the tail that you saw in the previous model, you're gonna want to make sure that the anchor, the axis point, I don't remember what it's called, the pivot point, yes, you're gonna make sure that the pivot point is on the right side over here, and if possible leave no pixels over here. Okay, just gonna like make sure that I don't actually know why we have to do that, but every time I try and like leave a few pixels, it kind of looks weird, so I'm just gonna do it like that. Anyways, so I'm just gonna want to get like a smallest crop as possible, and then we're just gonna like move it over here. I'm gonna move it over here because why not? Okay, now look at all these like movement things. You can do the exact same thing. So what I like to do for the tail, right, to make it feel more alive, I like to add wiggle physics. So I'm pretty sure it's this thing. Now you can like increase the wiggle amp you know, how much it'll wiggle. And wiggle frequency is basically how often it'll wiggle. This isn't the wiggle thing. Is it this one? Oh, yes, it's this one. Okay, so as you can see, it's going haywire. No, we don't want it to be set too high. Look at it. So it wiggles at the tip. We don't need it to be too high, so I'll just make it 0.5. And wiggle frequency is like a bit too. It's wiggling like way too much. Set it to like 0. Maybe let's try 0.1. Okay, so yeah, I like this wiggle frequency, but it's wiggling like way too much as it like the strength. So we're gonna set it to 2, and maybe 2.25. And yeah, that's pretty much how I do the tail. Maybe we should just do it. Maybe we should just stick with 15. Why is it slightly cut? Okay. We're gonna worry about that later. Yeah. Anyways, another thing that we can do is we can make it like slightly rotate if you want. So you can go over here to rot degree and it'll like slowly rotate. So you can do rot speed, rot frequency over here, and then rot degree is how, like, you know, how many degrees it'll rotate. Again, we don't want to set it way too much. We just want to like slow the effect that it's moving. It's a living, breathing tail and all that. So I like to set it to like, this much is already fine, honestly. This much is already fine. Okay, so we already got that done. Now, if you want to make your model more alive, I mean, obviously, since the tail is the only one moving, it feels a bit like out of place. So we can also make everything else move. Unfortunately, you can't set movement for like the entire thing, so you'll have to stick to doing it one by one. Yeah, it's a real bummer, but yeah, it does the job. So what I like to do here is go to movement and basically just like apply the same thing I did with the tail, but instead of wiggle, we're gonna try like a little breathing thing. So here's what I like to do. So X amp, you know, again, left and right. Okay, we're gonna set it to 2, since, you know, when people breathe, they kind of move to the left and right a bit, and we're gonna set the frequency to 0.5. Okay, so this is the tail. I just realized this is the tail. Okay, let's do it in a normal sprite. So this is 2, 0.5. Okay, so as you can see kind of a bit, they're kind of moving left and right. Now, I'm gonna go over here, Y amp. Let's set it to 5. I think it should be enough. I'm gonna set it to the exact same frequency, 0.5. And it kind of looks like they're breathing. Oh, I forgot. I didn't set it to 0.5. I set it to 0.05. Now it kind of gives off the effect that they're breathing. Like, pay attention. It's very subtle, but it honestly, like, it's this little, the small things that count, or however the saying goes. You're gonna want to do the same things on literally every other folder. So I feel like that one young dev image where it's like, God, I wish there was an easier way to do this. I really wish there was. Fuck me. Yeah, we just. Oh, I can just like, yeah, okay. So, okay. Right, okay. Now, if we like pay more attention, it's almost like she's breathing a bit. We're basically done here, honestly. That's pretty much the end of the tutorial.